Hi, I'm Ken from Shiitake. Thank you for watching the video explaining the log-grown shiitake mushrooms cultivation up to the last time. We hope we explained enough for you. And look at this! Some cute babies coming out! Yes! Very good. Alright, anyway, we'd like to explain a little more at the end. It is points for second or later flashes. You don't want to lose from the second or later flashes, do you? We think what we are going to explain will help you even more. As usual, we'll explain with multiple videos, and at the end we'll upload the omniverse, so it is okay to see only that. For those who think, what are you talking about? There is a past videos in the description that appears when you press the title, so please take a look at them first. Also, since we are using our own cultivation method as an example, I think that it may be difficult for me. But we will be happy if you could incorporate it as a new value. We'll explain on the assumption that your mushroom cultivation history is within a few years or about to begin. As we say every time, it is our personal opinion, not a general theory, and not perfect English, so please make your own judgment. Let's go! The biggest difference between the first and second flash is that a number of shiitake mushrooms come out. We hear you say, I already know that! Let me explain as a confirmation. Basically, once shiitake mushrooms come out, the holes are not going to fruit shiitake again. We mean as many shiitake mushrooms come out, the packed holes decrease, right? If 50% of all holes fruit shiitake mushrooms at the first soak, basically only the rest of the holes will come out after the second soak. And the second time, shiitake don't even come out from all the holes, so only about a quarter of all holes fruit shiitake mushrooms. The third time is about the same or even less. You think, then shiitake won't come out at all from the fifth time? Don't worry, that's not going to happen. We'll explain why in the next section. Why does shiitake mushrooms continue to come out from the third soak? It is whether the whole picked turn brown. Shiitake comes out from skin, and nutrients remain in the log. Please take a look at the holes after picking shiitake mushrooms. The color of the holes initially white to yellowish, like this hole. However, if the logs managed at an appropriate humidity and temperature, the holes will turn brown. It's pretty dark, like tiramisu. It really looks like tiramisu, so I call it tiramisu from now. It takes several weeks to become tiramisu. Once the whole becomes tiramisu, shiitake mushrooms will come out from them again within a few times of soak as another process of fruiting. If the skins of logs are thin, such as Quercus, or if the spawn you use has a strong vitality, shiitake mushrooms will pop out from the skins. The reason for this is that shiitake mushrooms are wood decay fungus. The logs and skin get softer because they are rotten and turned into nutrition. It becomes noticeable to pop out from the skin after third soak. Because of the fact, it keeps coming out without stopping, and when the nutrients remain in the log, basically there is almost no nutrients in spring. But when the temperature rises, the logs can be decayed and turned into nutrients again, so shiitake mushrooms can continue to grow until before summer. We'll explain how to artificially revitalize the holes instead of becoming tiramisu. We call it guri-guri. Guri-guri is a method of revitalizing holes that we invented over 10 years ago. It's very simple. Clean the hole about 5mm depth from the surface and just cover it with a plaque. That's all. This is not different from becoming tiramisu. Actually, more likely to fruit because of its bath chamber. The bath chamber is a small gap between the shiitake spawn and the plaque. We'd like to explain while watching the video we made quite a while ago. First of all, you'll pick shiitake mushrooms. She uses the Shiitake tori that we explained last time. Then clean the hole with a special drill bit, plaque it, and all done. You can see the difference from other holes by marking the plaque. At the third or later soaks after this guri-guri, shiitake mushrooms will come out and grow on the holes. However, this is kind of hard work, so it is hard for those who have a lot of logs. Since a special bed and styrofoam plugs are also required, it is not recommended unless you grow only 100 logs or so. By the way, we make and supply the special bed. If you keep that in your mind, try it whenever you want. Then how many times will shiitake mushrooms fruit with soaks? We already told you more than 10 times in the previous video series. Of course, if you manage the logs under proper conditions. There are some people who use them 16 times or more. In that case, the logs become decayed well, and shiitake mushrooms come out not only from the skins, but also from the cut ends. However, it seems that shiitake mushrooms have no power or that they were worn out compared to the beginning one. It's probably because there's almost no nutrition left in the logs. Those are already grandpas and grandmas. The role of growing shiitake mushrooms on those logs is over. Also, please be aware that only the logs colonized beautifully keep shiitake mushrooms fruiting until the end. The logs colonized partially, and the logs that have been eaten by insects can be contaminated by other harmful fungi. Once that happens, harmful fungi will grow more and more, so the logs can't be used as shiitake logs anymore. It's not so easy to use them to the end. In the previous video, the logs that becomes grandpa and grandmas explained that the role of growing shiitake mushroom is over. As you may think, those logs can be still used in other ways. For example, as fuel, logs for stag beetles, and organic fertilizer. The first one's fuel is to use the large wood stove and burn it as it is to heat the greenhouse. This can help promote the growth of other shiitake mushrooms even in the cold winter. However, since the logs are spongy, the fire power is weak and it does not last very long. Next one, as logs for stag beetles. It means that it is used for breeding stag beetles and beetles. The logs that have been used by shiitake mushrooms are soft and fluffy. Of course, for beetles, fluffy logs are better than rugged logs. Have you ever heard of cushions that can ruin people? That insect version is the log used for shiitake cultivation. The last one, fertilizer. If you pile up the logs on the ground, nature breaks them down. After 1 year, large beetle larvae may also settle in. They eat and help to decompose the logs. And the decomposition of those bacteria, fungi, and down of the beetle, etc. produce good quality organic fertilizer. Why don't you use it for a vegetable garden? This is the end of life of shiitake log. As a final bonus, we would like to answer the question, will shiitake mushrooms continue to fruit all year round? Let us tell you the conclusion. It depends on the environment, conditions, and type of spawn. It is impossible to grow shiitake mushrooms all year round in nature. In summer, it hardly grows with no air conditioners, and in winter, it is too cold to come out in nature. Shiitake will come out if it is soaked artificially in water. After all, when cultivated in nature, shiitake only fruits twice in autumn and spring. In the case of shiitake farmers, there are some people have to keep producing all year round. So in the summer, they use high-power air conditioners to greenhouses. On the other hand, in winter, they burn logs to heat them up. There is another way to grow mushrooms called sawdust base, which is solidified sawdust. With this method, shiitake grows indoor under strict environment control. So shiitake mushrooms can be produced stably. Log growing is not like sawdust base. Since it is greatly affected by the climate, it tends to be white and thin shiitake mushrooms in summer, black and thick shiitake mushrooms in winter. Even so, it is a fact that if you make some capital investment like air conditioner, log growing shiitake can be grown all year round, but we think it's not worth, When shiitake mushrooms do not grow in the nature, we recommend that you do not force them to grow. This time we explained about points for the second or later flushes. Let's review. From the second flush onward, the amount of shiitake mushrooms decrease, but it does fruit even after the fifth flush. Once the picked holes get turned into brown like tiramisu, it is possible to come out shiitake from the hole again. In thin-skinned logs, it also starts to pop out from the skin. And if there is no nutrients left in the logs, shiitake mushrooms will not grow well. We introduced guri that artificially revitalize the holes. If you are interested, please contact us. You may have 16th flush or more. As the premise is that the spawn colonize the logs well, and the environment is good. Even logs that are worn out have some rows, fuel, logs for stag beetle, and fertilizer. Let's use them up until the very end. Shiitake mushrooms basically come out only in autumn and spring in the natural environment. Shiitake can be grown in winter, but in summer it is not recommended unless the running cost is very low or price of shiitake is very high. Alright, that's all about log-grown shiitake cultivation. How was that? As a reminder, everything we've explained so far is what we do. Please always devise and try and error. If it was informative, please leave a like. If you have a question like, what should I do in this case? Please write it in the comment section. We'll continue to provide videos that are useful for mushroom cultivation. If you press the subscribe button, you can keep watching the latest videos immediately. So please click now. Thank you for watching your precious time. See you next time.